So I never updated what happened, at Donnie's meeting and, the aftermath of that. Um and like right now I'm really in my feelings. I'm not 100% sure why. Um I know it has to do with the constantness of being a parent. And the constantness of working and just the constant things that come up with life. And honestly, I just don't feel like dealing right now. And even though, I had a game night last night to try to help myself emotionally, and it was good, I had fun, but for whatever, like, it feels like in my spirit, like something's like not right in my spirit anymore. Um, so at Donnie's meeting, of course, they did the sandwich thing where, they say these are things that he's good at, this is where he needs to improve, and something or another. I forgot. But ultimately, the one thing that they said that genuinely hurt my heart, like I started crying in the meeting, not heavily, but I did get up and go get a tissue. They said that when he has a tantrum, kids start running away from him. And for me, that was really, really hurtful because I know how kind, loving, caring, affectionate, social, happy, like all these positive attributes. I know all of these positive things about my son. I just wish people could see them. And it was hurtful too when his teachers said that, they have to explain, to other parents that, if something happens to their child, then what they're saying about Donovan is that, well, we have a child who, is still learning to express himself with his words, and we work with him on that daily. And so I understand the parents side of things too. And for instance, I wanted to ask if there were any kids that carpooled from our side of town to his school. And then I thought about it. I was like, I don't know that anybody would want him in their car. So I'll just continue to struggle to get up, get him to school on time, get the twins to school on time, get myself to work, do my job, so on. Um, so I don't remember if I said this in another video that I had talked with his pediatrician, and we agreed to increase his Adderall dose from 5 milligrams to 10. And after that meeting, I chose to increase it to 15. Another friend that I was telling about this said, well, see if there are any products that have CBD in them that might be helpful, because Adderall can cause heart problems in little kids. And, I don't know. I don't think that there's been any testing on CBD with kids. Well, I don't know. I'll have to look. Nonetheless, I'll have to look. But again, that's one more thing I have to get into. One more thing I have to look into. One more thing I'm going to find myself trying to justify to someone. And I hate to just sound so woe is me right now, but last night I went to bed. During the party I was good. Then after everybody left, I started to get a little sad. And then I wake up this morning, and just not in the greatest of moods. And, again, the Thursday after Donnie's meeting, I remember waking up and feeling like my spirit was dead. I remember thinking, genuinely, my spirit feels dead. And it wasn't until my ex-husband said that later that day, he said, man, that meeting was exhausting. And I said, oh, that's why I, was so tired all day Thursday, and wasn't in the best mood all day. It's just because that was a lot emotionally to take in, that, that they believe he's doing fine academically right now. And we did get his most recent standardized test scores back the day after that meeting, or maybe on Friday. But nonetheless, it just, I think it just does something to your spirit, to your soul, to know that, and not just to say, oh, they don't like my son, because I get to a certain degree they do, but I also understand that I almost died having him. He almost died being born, and even I get aggravated with him. But I'm his mom, and I have a friend who always says, no one's gonna love your kids the way that you do. Only you love your kids like that, and that's true. But it just did something to my heart. And like right now, I'm getting ready to do a presentation in Orlando, my first international presentation, no less. And this is for work. Um, and I hadn't really been paying attention to the whole COVID-19 issues insofar as the US, and now it's just like the logistics of, okay, I gotta get my thing for parking, and my girl was like, oh well, why don't we park off site, and then the bus driver will help you get the kids' car seats into the bus, and da da da, like you'll have somebody to help you. And I thought about it this morning. I was like, says who? I assume my ex-husband would help me. He didn't. So I no longer assume that people are gonna help me do anything. I assume that I'm in this by myself. And this isn't me throwing shade at my ex-husband. He knows this, he knows this is how I felt, but it's just, I think sometimes I get real overwhelmed. And when I feel overwhelmed, it's just like gloom and doom. I just don't know what else to do. Um, so I feel like there's some other things that I want to talk about today. And I said I'm going to start making a list of things so that I'm a little bit more organized. I'm not just kind of talking all over the place. But like I said, right now I'm just really in my feelings and I don't like this. And it's interesting also that a friend of mine sent me an article about parenting while depressed. And that is very challenging because you need to take care of yourself. You need to do things for yourself. But when you're a parent, and especially a single parent, you got to make sure your kids are good too. They effectively come first. And so you're both what I call tier one priorities, and you got to handle both. And my kids are going to be coming back tonight. They were supposed to be coming back tomorrow, and it's things like this that is just the inconsistencies sometimes with my ex they just aggravate me a little bit more when I'm in one of these moods. Sometimes I feel that when you are the custodial parent, the world is on your shoulders. And the non-custodial parent can kind of be like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, meh, or I'm not, or oh, I got to change my mind about this. And it's just kind of like, I had something planned this week, to hopefully try to network to move into a different career path. I don't think I'm going to be able to go now, because I'm going to need somebody to pick up the kids, etc. And who am I going to be able to get that I can get all 3 car seats to, etc. Or effectively be like, here, take my car, I'll drive this other one. Just shit, it's just like the shit don't stop. And I think I just get aggravated about it sometimes. And then as a parent who is an adult who also has a sex drive, then you also look into the dating side of things. And my girl said it best. She was like, you need someone who can pour into you. And I think that's just it. It's like when I think about what I want in the future, even if I don't ever get married again, I would like a long-term committed relationship where I feel like you're pouring into me. Not just because you see what I pour into everybody else, but just because you want to, because you love me, because you care about me. And it's times like this that I wish I had somebody that I could go to and just hug in my girls. It doesn't have to be a man, and again, that's why I keep going back to, this is why I created this vlog, because I know I'm not the only person out here struggling. I know I'm not. And so, right now I don't have many followers. I don't have many subscribers, but I really, when you do watch these videos, please pass it along to any other single parent that you know. Especially a single mom, especially one with, really young kids, especially if they are also, having some type of challenge emotionally themselves, and or their kids are having challenges, because it's hard enough to just raise one child in this world and make sure that they're okay, let alone 3, and make sure that you are doing the very best.